Hey, welcome back to the channel. Let me ask you something. Did you vote last year thinking Social Security would finally be tax-free? If you did, you're definitely not alone. Wait a second. Wasn't that part of Trump's big plan? A lot of people expected it, especially after hearing it over and over again on the campaign trail. But here we are in 2025, looking at a brand new tax bill on the table. And guess what's missing? No tax break on Social Security benefits. Now, I know this hits close to home for many of you. Social Security, ISNT, just some line on a paycheck or a future concern. It's what millions of retirees rely on right now to get by.
Hey, so when a promise this big doesn't show up in the actual legislation, it doesn't just feel like politics, it feels personal.
So today, we're breaking down what happened. Why was that promise made in the first place? What's in the new tax bill instead? And what does it all mean for your wallet, not just today, but in the years to come? But before we go further, I want to hear from you. Did you expect Social Security to be tax-free this year? And how do you feel now that it's not happening? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hey. And if you're new here or haven't subscribed yet, hit that button. I'm here with honest, clear updates that help you stay informed without all the fluff. All right, let's go back to the promise. During the 2024 campaign, President Trump made a bold pledge. No more federal income tax on tips, overtime pay, and yes on Social Security benefits. The idea was to give relief to working families and retirees alike, and that message really landed, especially with seniors, many of whom are living on fixed incomes and still paying taxes on the benefits they earned over a lifetime of work. So if you were one of the folks thinking, finally some relief, you weren't wrong to feel hopeful. Maybe you imagined a big change was coming, one that would let you keep more of your monthly check. But now that we're seeing the actual legislation, House Republicans are backing that part of the promise. It's just not there. The bill has been called big and beautiful by some. But depending on what you were expecting, it might feel like something really important got left out. So let's talk about what is in the bill. Instead of eliminating taxes on Social Security, the bill offers a few smaller benefits. For example, it includes an extra $4,000 income tax deduction for people 65 and older. Your modified adjusted gross income is under $75,000, or $150,000 for couples. Now that's something. It does help lower and middle-income seniors a bit, but it's still a far cry from making benefits totally tax-free. A deduction lowers the income you're taxed on, it doesn't eliminate the tax itself. So if you were expecting a clean break from taxes on your Social Security, this probably doesn't deliver what you had in mind. So why wasn't the tax exemption included? Well, there are a couple of big reasons. First is something called the Byrd Rule in the Senate. If you want to pass a bill using reconciliation, a faster method for getting things through, Congress can include provisions that directly impact the federal budget. And guess what? Changing Social Security tax policy usually gets blocked under that rule. That means you'd need 60 votes in the Senate, and in today's political climate, that's a tall order. There just isn't the bipartisan support to make a sweeping change like this happen. Then there's the financial reality. And this might surprise you, taxes on Social Security benefits bring in a lot of money. In 2025 alone, those taxes are projected to generate over $100 billion. About $60.8 billion goes to Social Security, and another $42.6 billion goes to Medicare. That money helps keep the system afloat. If we remove those taxes without finding a way to replace that revenue, the trust funds would run out even faster. Right now, the Social Security Trust Fund is projected to be depleted by 2034. If you eliminate the taxes on benefits, that date moves up to 2032, and if you also remove taxes on tips and overtime. Some projections show benefits could be cut by up to a third by 2035. That's the trade-off: give people more money now, or keep the program running longer. It's not an easy choice, and opinions are split. Now, let's look at the rest of the bill. The GOP's new tax plan does follow through on a few things. Trump promised like temporary tax breaks on tips and overtime pay. And then there are the Medicaid cuts, up to $880 billion in reductions. These come with new work requirements and less federal support for state programs. Critics argue that these cuts hit the most vulnerable, including seniors, while the tax benefits tilt toward the wealthy. In fact, one analysis shows the top 0.1% of earners, would gain more from the bill than the entire bottom half of Americans combined. Back to Social Security, one more point worth noting is fairness. Right now, most lower-income seniors don't pay much, if any, tax on their benefits. So if you remove the tax altogether, the biggest winners would actually be wealthier retirees. According to the Tax Policy Center, the top 20% of Social Security recipients would get more than $7,000 a year in tax breaks. Meanwhile, lower-income seniors would see little or no change. It would make the system less progressive. It helps those who need it least. The Trump administration still talks about eliminating the Social Security tax. Trump himself continues to bring it up in speeches. He calls it unfair and outdated. You can see why that resonates. After all, if you've paid into the system your entire working life, why should you be taxed again when it's time to collect? It's a valid concern and one that hits home for millions. But campaigning on big promises is a lot different than passing real policy. Once you get into the budgeting process, everything gets more complicated. So what can you do right now? Well, if you're over 65 and make under $75,000 a year, that new $4,000 deduction could help a bit. But if you also have income from a pension or retirement accounts, it's a good idea to review your full tax picture. And if you're still hoping for a full Social Security tax break in the future, keep an eye on upcoming proposals. The current bill is still being negotiated, so things can still change. But as of today, it looks like that tax exemption isn't happening anytime soon. Let me know in the comments. Do you think Social Security should be taxed? Or should we find a way to make benefits fully tax-free without hurting the program? And if you've ever been shocked by how much got taken out of your check after taxes, share your story. Someone else might be going through the same thing. Thanks for sticking with me. These topics can be heavy, but they matter. The way we treat seniors, the promises we make, and breaks say a lot about our priorities as a country. Let's keep the conversation going. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll be right here with the next update, helping you make sense of it all.